to intro. I have to figure that out. So today I'm gonna be talking about things I've been reading recently. I've been reading a lot of books. I have a lot of time on my hands. It is October 10th and I've already read 4 books this month. And I'm assuming I'm gonna read a lot more by the end of the month. But so I think this is gonna be a video I do every couple of weeks, just updating what I've recently read. I know people usually do this like monthly, but I don't feel like doing that. I want to be different, okay? I want to be different. So at the end of September, I read Heartless by Marissa Meyer. I don't have a physical copy of that because I got it from the library, and I already returned it. I gave that book a 5 out of 5 stars. I really recommend it. I didn't think I was gonna like it at all because I tried to get into her Luna Chronicles series and I didn't really like it. I really enjoyed Heartless by Marissa Meyer. It's a standalone, I believe. Basically the story of the Queen of Hearts from Alice in Wonderland before she becomes the Queen of Hearts. It was so good. I'm in love with Jest. He's the greatest thing that was ever invented ever. I love him. And I don't really know how to explain my feelings for this book. I will just tell you, I cannot stop thinking about this book. I couldn't read for a little bit because all I could think about was Heartless, and I was in a major book hangover because of it. That I read after that got me out of that little book hangover was Geek Arella by Ashley Poston, and this is a Cinderella retelling, if you couldn't tell by the title. It's a little dusty. I absolutely fell in love with this book. I think I also gave this 5 out of 5 stars. Geek Arella is a Cinderella retelling. I already said that. Okay, Becca. And I was kind of nervous going into this because I was like, I've read 500 Cinderella retellings. I've seen so many Cinderella retellings. Like, what can this bring to the table that I haven't seen before? And that was this girl being a major geek. But it's so different when you like go into a book and you just like see yourself in that character, and it's like has a different meaning. Just this is kind of like a sense of like belonging and like knowing that I belong somewhere. That was so cheesy. 5 out of 5 stars. My review on Goodreads says, "My heart is so happy after reading this. It was so cute. I can't." Very eloquent. The book I read was I Love My Love by Raina Biddy. I don't know if I pronounced that right. I'm sorry if I didn't. This is a poetry book, so it's a collection of poetry, which I've been trying to get more into recently. I thought this was really good. I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. Again, I don't really know that much about poetry, so maybe if I read more poetry I won't think it's that good, but I thought it was really good. But it was good. That's my thoughts. The book I read after that was Genuine Fraud by E. Lockhart. This book, I can't like fully wrap my head around how I feel about this book. I really feel like I need to reread it before I can like give my full actual thoughts. Kind of figured out what was going on pretty early on in the book, and that kind of disappointed me because I wanted it to be like a bigger reveal like at the end, like in We Were Liars. So that disappointed me, and obviously there were things that happened that kind of took me by surprise, but also not really. If you want to read this book, I suggest don't even read the synopsis. Like, ignore the synopsis, pretend it's not there, because I feel like that gave away some stuff for me, and if I didn't read it I probably would have liked it a little bit more. Next book I read was Moxie by Jennifer Matthew. I don't know how to pronounce this. Let me tell you, I did not think I was going to like this book very much because it takes place in a high school setting, and I haven't really been reading books that really take place in high school. Like, I've been reading books that like people are high school age but they're not in high school, like during the summer, but I haven't read a book that like physically takes place in a high school in so long, so I was like, I don't know, like I haven't really been interested in it. Like I just didn't feel like I was gonna relate to any of the characters. But let me tell you, this book is one of the greatest books I've read in such a long time. Her name is Vivian. I saw myself in Vivian so much. Like I saw high school Becca in Vivian very much. So the basic concept of this is that the high school that she goes to is super sexist. They do like these gross like random like dress code checks, and then these boys have this really disgusting game that they play in the hallway that's actual harassment. It's gross, and she gets fed up, so she decides to make a feminist zine, and she puts them in the girls' bathroom to like anonymous. She doesn't want anyone to know that she like is the one making the zine, and that starts a feminist revolution. I was reading it, and then it got to like midnight, and I was like, I need to put the book down. An hour later, I had to pick the book back up because I couldn't stop thinking about it. And when I finished it, I was genuine, like there was tears streaming down my face, not because it was sad, but because I just like felt so empowered. And it like hits a lot of the marks that I like wanted a book about like feminism to hit. And there's a little bit of romance, but it doesn't like overtake the book, which I enjoyed. It was so good. I genuinely recommend anybody to pick this up. It's a great read. It's an important read. It's great, and it has 100% inspired me, and I really want to start my own zine now. That wasn't very eloquent, but I'm not good at describing why I like books. I just like them. Wow, I'm great. That was the last book I've read of recent days, but I'm also in the middle of reading 4 other books. 4. I've never read this many books at the same time. It's making me anxious. I just started this book today, and I'm rereading it. It's Legend by Marie Lu. I'm actually listening to this on audiobook. Also listening to an audiobook The Great Gatsby by F. Scott Fitzgerald. I've kind of figured out audiobooks really aren't my thing, but I'm trying to force myself to listen to them because I'm super behind on my reading challenge. And while I was at Disney, I literally read 4 books in the 8 months that I was there. 4. And that hurts me because I can read 10 books in a month. And the fact that I only read 4 books in 8 months breaks me. It breaks my heart. But I'm also reading an ebook from the library, The Secret Diamond Sisters by Michelle Meadow. I don't really like it that much, but I'm going to try and finish it. It was very juvenile for me so far. I'm not very far. I think I'm like 5 chapters in. I'm not very much enjoying it, but I'm going to try and keep pushing through, and maybe I'll change my mind. And then I've been reading To All the Boys I've Loved Before. I started reading this in February. At Vista, they have like a little library, and you can check out books. And then I had to return it. And then I bought it so I could finish reading it, and then I just never did. Those are the 4 books I'm reading right now. I also have They Both Die at the End by Adam Silvera, which I really want to read. And I know the main character in this book is Puerto Rican, and I haven't read any books with a Puerto Rican main character because they're like non-existent. And it would be really nice to read a book about someone who is the same as me. That would just be really nice. I also have the first 2 books in Magnus Chase and the Gods of Asgard by Rick Riordan. So I have The Sword of Summer and The Hammer of Thor. And I've only read Percy Jackson and the Olympians. I haven't read any other books by him. So I want to try and read these 2. And I also have The Lost Hero, which is the first book in the Heroes of Olympus. I really love Percy Jackson. I just haven't had the time to pick up Heroes of Olympus or anything else he's written. But since I have so much time now, I figured I would. And then I also have Throne of Glass and Crown of Midnight by Sarah J. Maas. I've already read both of these, but I want to reread them so I can continue on with the series. I don't know if I'm actually going to do that. I was thinking about that last night, if I was actually going to continue on with the series, but I want to reread the first 2 books and at least try. Yeah, so that's all the things I've been reading lately and all the things I plan on reading next, and I will see you guys next Wednesday. Why are you interrupting me? Okay. Here. Oh, where's my book? Hello? Bookie? Oh, there it is. It was there the whole time. I'm an idiot.